Good morning. Actually, it's almost afternoon here. And well, tonight we celebrate Israeli Independence Day. This is, of course, well, I would say since we actually came back and got our independence, it's not that many years, 76 years. Today, I and the state of Israel are the same age. This June, I will be 1 year older. Obviously, I've fought in every war in Israel since I arrived here in 1974, 75. Um, I've also served in almost every branch of the Israeli government, also in the professional army and as a reservist. So I think about Israeli Independence Day. I'm very proud to be an Israeli, to have done my part. My children and grandchildren are fighting now in Gaza, and they have fought ever since they went in at age 18. It's a tradition now in the family. I love our country as much as I loved America when I fought in the United States Marine Corps. The difference is we're not done fighting here in Israel. Our war has already lasted many years. The current battle has lasted 7 months. Well, it may not seem that much to you veterans that have spent 13 and 2 years and 3 years or more in Vietnam, but 7 months is an awful long time. Basically, those of us that are in the Army, which doesn't include me at this point, I'm a civilian volunteer and I do what I do without pay. Those of us in the Army still have some compensation. Some of us basically have no way of going back to work since a lot of our industries were dependent on Palestinian Arabs. So for some of us, it's been 7 months without work. I'm one of them. And I think about this Independence Day, and it's Israeli independence is now the first time that we've been independent since the Roman wars, since they burned the temple. From that time until the state of Israel, we were not independent. We were guests or slaves of various countries throughout the world, various empires. And always we remembered Jerusalem and we prayed always for our redemption, which has started with the state of Israel. It's not finished yet. We have a lot to learn, and we're learning as we go forward. I do hope very much to live to see the beginning of the reconstruction of the temple. I found that the temple is not where the Arabs built their mosque. It's farther to the south. It could be rebuilt there without causing any problem with the Muslim world, except for the fact that we dare to build a temple, in which case, they'll all try to kill us anyway. Independence Day, we call out the names of people before Independence Day. That's Israel Remembrance Day. And I remember well most of these names. I hear the names of my friends who have been killed in Hebron called out. I hear the names of people I served with, relatives, friends of relatives. And I am saddened by one thing, not by the fact that they made the ultimate sacrifice. I'm satisfied. I'm basically saddened by the fact that we do not give the recognition to all of the people that they deserve. And that by that I mean the international Jewish community as well, some of whom are actually, to my sorrow, allied with our enemies. But it's always been that way. It was that way during the Roman occupation. It was that way through all the years that we suffered in exile. But what doesn't kill a person only makes him stronger. And so we're stronger today than we were then. And I believe we're going to build a temple, and soon. I have no reason to think that we will not win this war, in spite of the fact that President Biden prays daily that we will lose and is doing everything possible to make it more difficult for us to win. You see, Jewish lives really are not important to Biden. And many people say, so what if you lose your sons and your daughters and your grandsons because we won't let you go in and do the job? I mean, after all, we're only Jews, right? Jews should be used to dying. Well, enough of our dying. I think that we don't have to pay any attention to what America wants. If America refuses to support us, so be it. But since we have no support from America and they're going to cut off our supplies, I say use them all up now on Rafiaq. Level Rafiaq as a lesson to the rest of the Arab world. Because our next fight is going to be in the north with the Hezbollah in Lebanon. And that's going to be an entirely different ballgame. It's going to be a huge war. And it could very easily bring about World War III. Because before we allow them to destroy Israel, we will use our atomic weapons to stop them. And we have 750 just ready to go. Some in submarines, some in underground silos. And if they come into the land of Israel because they have the massive amount of backing required to push our soldiers back into the land of Israel, we will meet them with atomic devastation. That's simply the way it is. At any rate, to those of you that love Israel, happy Israeli Independence Day. And to those of you that hate Israel, well, I'm sorry about that crap, but you know, you're just going to have to get used to it. Take care now, my friends. A lot of love from Israel.